afternoon. The November 12th, 2024 informal meeting is now in session. Call roll call, please.
Ms. Wright?
Here.
Mr. Trent? Yes. Ms. Campbell?
Here.
Mr. Susan? Here. Ms. Jenkins? Thomas? Here.
Thank you. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
This is to the Republic for its sustainment.
One
nation
under God.
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Amen. All right. So let me start by saying, Ms. Campbell, thank you so much for this wonderful idea of helping the transition of our new board members come in. So the purpose of this meeting really is to get to know John and really kind of go through some things that maybe we struggled with and help ease that transition so it's not like throwing him into the deep end and hoping that he can swim well. So
Much appreciate.
yeah, so we have several items that are on the agenda. Everybody has an agenda in front of them, correct? Yep. You do not?
Nope. Someone from the 19th?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's
I was like, mine has notes on it.
There.
So,
no, that's the.
okay,
I
perfect.
knew I had a next one, but that's a reason.
Okay. So the first item that we were going to discuss today is the committee assignments, which I am very glad we're going over this now as opposed to the night of the board meeting. It gets a little weird, so I'm going to take one down, pass it. You have one already?
I got one.
I saw that.
Yeah.
All right. Here, I'll give this to you, Lena. Do you want one, Paul?
There's you.
Put it on.
Good. You get one anyway.
Just want to try to fill you as we go along.
Yeah, sounds good. And I know pretty much all of them as we talk through them, but we'll do it fine.
Okay, perfect. All right, so there's 19 committees on here, and the way that we've run this in the past was basically we're just going down each one of them. We have a person that's your primary and then your alternate, right? It's so just discussing, do we want to keep that person as the primary? Does anybody feel passionate about that committee? Some of these committees make sense, obviously, for the person in that district to maintain their relationship and staying on that committee. Some of them maybe not. So we'll just start at the top. So Mr. Susan and Mr. Trent have led the Space Coast League of Cities. Mr. Susan, are you attending those meetings?
Yeah, but not as frequently during the campaign as I would have liked to. But yeah, no, I mean, I enjoyed it. We go to it, stuff like that. But, if anybody else wanted to try to do that, that's okay too. Everybody can always go to if they ever want it.
Right.
But having a lead person to come back and report, it's one thing. We can all go to them with whatever we want.
Could we?
Shade would not be eating that again. I've only just a couple that I really care about. So if somebody's real passionate about it, if not, then I can do it again next year.
All right, thank you.
Could we do this? Because some of these, it would be helpful to me, what day of the week, how often, and the time.
Okay.
Because I know some of them, if it's a Thursday night, so before if that would be helpful, because some of them I'm not actually sure.
Okay.
Like Space Coast League of Cities, when is that usually?
It's typically, yeah,
First Monday of the month.
it's a nighttime meeting, exactly. So, and there's a fee associated with that one, but obviously the district picks up that one, right? Because it's a dinner meal that happens there.
It rotates.
Does anybody feel like, oh, I love the Space Coast League of Cities and I want to be a part of it? You sound like you were ready.
I normally go to it because of my day job,
Okay.
and I've gone to it obviously being a former city official, so I'm happy to jump in and do that and go to most of them anyways.
Okay. All right, good deal. Mr. Susan, are you okay with that? Sounds like that works if Mr. Thomas is willing to take the lead.
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect.
Absolutely.
Anybody want to?
I'll stay as backup.
You'll stay back up? Okay. So one of the things too, typically if I can't make one of mine that I've committed to, I try to out of courtesy say, hey, I can't make this. Are you able to attend? And Ms. Campbell's in the same one. I've served as backup to you. So just so that we have representation at these different organizations. So the next one is the Brevard County Values Adjustment Board. That currently is you, Mr. Susan, and Mr. Trent. When do they meet?
So they have 2 meetings a year. It's generally in the morning. It's across the street, and it's just timed, and it's absolutely just a formality. So,
If I can make it, I've been thinking for the last, I think, 3 or 4 years. And they do have a formal 2 times a year, but they meet multiple times at that. Like they'll come in and there's contracts for the attorney or whatever it is. So I have it about 4 times a year. Everybody always hated it. So I took it as a bad kind of courage just taking on. I enjoy doing it. Unless somebody's like really dying to do it, I'll stay on and do it over there.
I am 100% fine with you staying on. This isn't one that I'm passionate about. Is everybody okay with Mr. Susan taking the lead on that one? Yes. All right, Mr. Trent, you're still listed as backup. Do you want to be listed as backup, or do you? Okay. All right. Brevard Cultural Alliance. How often do they meet, Miss Campbell?
They meet once a month on the third Wednesday of the month in the morning. And they try to move it around. Like sometimes it's in West Melbourne, sometimes it's in Cocoa, Rockledge, they move it around.
Okay.
And I always forget to call if I can't go.
What's fun?
But most of the time I can't.
You said morning. When do they? Like how early? Is it afternoon?
9 morning. Yeah, and it's like an hour and a half. And it's it is good to give them information. It's
Yeah.
a lot of it's relevant, or some of it's not relevant, but it's good. They always ask for the liaison reports, and we're there to give update what's going on in the arts and Brevard. So
Okay. Is that one that you would like to stay on as the lead?
I don't mind continuing with that.
Okay.
Unless anybody else wants to jam it.
Does anybody else feel passionate about the Cultural Alliance? Don't all jump at once.
Yeah, really loud.
Sorry. Okay, so Miss Campbell, if you'll stay on that one, Mr. Trent, you're listed as the backup. If you don't want to be the backup, I don't mind being the backup. So Miss Campbell, if you can't go, I'll be happy to fill in. So if you let me know when.
Yes.
Final duration.
All right. All right, we have the Central Florida Public School Board Coalition. Currently, I serve on that one.
This is a chair, vice chair.
Yes.
Actually do. So this is we're all invited, and it is publicly noticed. So anybody, you can always jump on anytime you want to. I leave it on my calendar every month. But it's a Monday.
And it's usually a Zoom call, so you're
yes.
Yeah, you're gonna get on
Zoom, but it is the second. It's the second Monday of the month, except for the months that we have FSBA meetings, and they don't meet in summer. They don't do July and August. And then in the months we have FSBA, like in December and in June, they just make that because we meet at the conference. So that is usually the chair and vice chair, just to make sure we have representation there. But anybody can jump on if they want to. If it's a topic, they'll send out something to all of us.
So we'll wait and determine that one.
Yes. Routinely for a lot of years, and I've been on it. It's always the chair, vice chair, anybody else goes to it. So I guess when that's selected, we can have those individuals. Please, that's fine.
Gotcha. All right. Brevard Schools Foundation, which Miss Jenkins led this one this past year. I was the backup. She did not ask me to attend any meetings that she did not attend. I found out very much later in the year that she didn't attend really any of the meetings. So typically that meeting, Dr. Rendell, you attend those on a regular basis monthly, correct?
Yes.
And usually it's a
Thursday afternoon and 4 o'clock.
Yep.
I don't know if it's third Thursday or fourth Thursday, but it's definitely not the second Thursday because that's when we do leadership team.
I don't mind taking this one. I liked helping with the Brevard Schools Foundation did like the backpack supply, and I went and did that, and I helped hand out backpacks and the supply zone. Obviously, that's available for our teachers. It's a really good foundation. The foundation really cool to learn about and be a part of. If nobody wants to take it, I don't mind being the primary, and then if anybody wants to jump in as secondary.
I'm sure I could. I'll be happy to jump in. My only question is the third Thursdays in the afternoon. I'm tied up with a work obligation. But
Yeah, I can tip right now.
fourth, and I'll be happy to do it.
Just I'm up.
If he's out, I can probably. Oh, you said it's 4 o'clock.
Yeah, usually it's 4 p.m.
Always works not good.
I was fine.
I can go back to October and just enjoyable one.
Oh, it's weird. So we make the class, but I still feel like something.
This one wasn't on my calendar on an ongoing basis because, again, I wasn't primary, so. You can look at my calendar for last year. Maybe that would help me.
I can.
Signed. I know you send it. You put it in your weekly email when you're having those
Yep.
meetings.
Sorry, trying to pull this up. Okay. Second.
Spons.
That's a, no, I think it's the third. Other second.
Is that the Education Foundation?
Yeah.
It's you listed on October 17th last.
Yeah, it's the third.
So that should be the third.
Yeah.
So you're I can be the backup
Okay.
for that.
All right. So that will. Are you okay with that, Mr. Susan? If I take the lead and Miss Campbell takes the secondary?
No problem.
That's great. Perfect. Thank you. All right. The choices in the charter school liaison, that's you, Mr. Susan. Can you tell us about that one? Because I'm not really familiar with that one.
Why happened that the charter school liaison? I think it was Miss Campbell.
Well, it was supposed to be this year.
Pretty cool.
I did it for 5 years. So Mr. Susan was supposed to be it this year, but it is what you make it. When I was a liaison, I tried to make sure that I visited all the charter schools, over a 2-year period I did. As far as official meetings, the only time I had an official meeting is like one time we had to do a, what do you call that? Legal time where you come in and it's not really official court case, but you're trying to meet a resolution. We had a mediation. And they pulled me in to that. Also, we met with a new charter school that was coming in application. But basically, it is what you make it. And I think everybody should jump in. And then I also helped coordinate. This was before Dr. Rendell came on board. Helped coordinate meetings with all the charter school principals and the superintendent, so that we had good communication. And superintendent, could certainly do that without the person, but it's good just to have a.
So every one of us has charter and choice schools in our districts. What if we split? Because that's a lot for one person to take the entire 72-mile Brevard County district and take the charters.
But they're mostly in my district. All right. And now, you say now there's a few more in his, but like out of the 14, now there's 15. Like 8 of them are in District 5.
Yeah, thoughts.
So it's, and again, it is what you make it. I didn't try to get to all 14 in 1 year. I just spread that out. But I think it would be good for, if you wanted to do it in your first year and it's just to kind of rotate that around, just because we all get an idea.
I'm happy to do it. She's obviously done it for 5 years, and if the Bell Column are in my district, I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dr. Meyer holds a meeting with them periodically, maybe even monthly. And, the board member could show up to that meeting just to be introduced to them all. I am visiting them all this year. It's like the traditional where I done 3.
Can you invite us whenever that they're in our district? So
Sure, when I'm up and you're whenever.
okay, great. I would like to attend for those.
But there's a lot of regular time, so it is whatever. But they'll be reaching out to you Dr. Meyer will, if they need a board member person to.
Okay, great.
Okay, wonderful. All right, Capital Outlay Committee, Mr. Trent, that is you.
So they meet quarterly. It's like the third Monday, like on 30 when they do that.
Okay.
And I'm willing to stay on it if anybody else doesn't want it. It's fine.
I'd love to back them up.
Both.
Okay.
We don't have a backup, but might as well.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So, well,
Definitely, it's good.
perfect. Okay. SIAC Committee. So that's currently Miss Campbell and Mr. Susan. What do we want to do for SIAC?
I just don't care, Miss Campbell. I'd like to get the lead, and I'd like to see their trial with Mr. Thomas. I'd like to kind of learn about it, being the fact that she's on for another 4 years. Might be a good transition to allow him maybe after next year or the year after that he takes it over. That you kind of lay it through so that the education of the insurance can kind of spread around. I do know that when you establish affected and board member can go to and decide it. But I think that it might be pretty good to do that. It's up to you, but
Okay. Miss Campbell's shaking around and I have done my 5 years that she's done her time and she's okay. So that'd be great if you're willing to take it on. I'm fine with that. Mr. Trent, are you okay with that?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we'll have Mr. Susan, you will lead that one out. And Mr. Thomas, are you okay with being his backup?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Wonderful. Now we have
Those are Wednesdays, generally the fourth Wednesday of the month at 1:00.
yeah.
So there is one next Wednesday, I believe.
Yes. So I'll.
This one.
No, it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. So I'm still it until.
Okay.
Are they announced publicly or?
Yes,
so-
they are.
Is it
Yeah.
typical for both the,
So
Or both
so
numbers?
the way meetings like that go. Well, now they've been advertised that more than one board member could come. But generally, in a meeting like that, if one board member is on there officially, but another board member wants to come, like when Maggie got on the board, she came and sat in a meeting. And you just sit. You can't, because if it's not advertised it more, then you can be there, but you can't talk.
Right.
But we've had board members come because they just want to see what's going on with.
Okay, the first one you probably just want to watch.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, you can come tomorrow if you want to. 1:00 we'll be in the boardroom.
okay? Thank you.
But they're all
The acronym SIAC stands for the Superintendent's Insurance Advisory Committee. Just for the record, listen, that was one of the things when I got in here, I was like, what are all these acronyms? Why can we not speak in just regular work? So I will do my best to not speak in acronyms.
We have a self-funded insurance plan. So, this committee is supposed to make recommendations to help make the plan
fish as great as possible.
right as good as possible.
It's not cost negative, but also couldn't borrow for you.
Okay.
All right, the next one we have is the School Health and Safety. Mr. Susan, you're on that. What does that one look like?
Say that again. Which one?
That's okay, the School Health and Safety.
I would love to continue to be on that one. That was kind of a one that we formed, but didn't officially like having the meeting. You know what I mean? Like it was,
Sure.
so I can continue to do it. Shortly up to you guys.
So so I'm pretty sure I haven't been that role, but I knew like Cheryl was in it a couple years ago. I think that they help every year. There's a plan that we vote on that's like the district's school health and safety plan that talks about the schools that have the dental visits and the health visits. So I think they sit on that to help formulate that plan.
Who, when you say who has,
That's
It'd be student services.
Pam Dampier.
Thank you.
okay,
So a board member sits on that.
okay. And it could have just been maybe lost translation with people and changes and all that stuff. So, okay, Mr. Susan, you're saying you want us to remain on that?
Yeah, I mean, like, look, I can, if somebody else passionate on it, but I do work with some of the community partners on that dental stuff and some of the offerings of our System and some of the some of my housing projects that are along in the Melbourne area too. So if I can, great. If not,
Okay.
not a big deal at all. You know,
Okay.
I'm okay. Whatever you guys want to do.
I'm fine if you want to stay on that one. I'm not.
I can be the backup.
You want to be the backup? Okay. All right. Miss Kimball's going to be your backup, and then we'll leave you as the primary, okay?
I'm good.
All right, perfect. The next one we have is the Palm Bay Youth Advisory Board.
So this is hasn't existed for a few years, but if it ever exists, since we both have Palm Bay, it's either one of us. It's not even
Okay.
It can be. So we just leave it on there just in case they ever revive
In
it.
case they ever come back.
And then we just figure out which one of us is available.
Right,
Yep.
right. So it was kind of a neat thing they were doing for a while, but then after COVID, it died and they had a hard time coming back. So
Fine.
we could just put both of our names on there.
All right.
Or you'd like.
Perfect. What about AMI Kids? What does AMI stand for?
It's
It's a small organization off of O'Galley Boulevard that deals with really many problems too. It's a very honorable program. Years ago, was doing South, I was so excited to be on the board of director, but like South told me that I wasn't allowed to be. It was not really big. So I don't know if they could reach back out to us for now. I know Jennifer worked with them because Paul Wow family father is the dad that run for my
Tina Deskimo served in this position.
I think that those, I think you did die. I talked to him. But that's the thing like his are those they're neat, like Kanye shooting stuff like the, in juvenile justice programs. But they do a very good job of getting that change pushing. So
Okay.
So they may not know, the current leadership may not know that we have a board representative to them. So evidently we don't sit on any official capacity, but if we want to stay connected with them, we can.
Okay. And Mr. Susan, on here, you say you want to take this one?
hey,
Yeah, did you say that or no?
no, I would double I'll be there only because when somebody else doesn't want to do it, I'll do it. Just because it's one of those programs. But yeah, I think somebody could really learn from it. But the guy did it before in the past.
Okay.
But Campbell said it's not like they're requiring too much information, but not enough on Bush for them.
I'll take it. I don't mind taking it, so I'll pull this one. All right, then the next one we have is the Florida School Boards Association Advocacy Committee, which Miss Campbell is currently leading.
It's on here, but this is a summer to summer season. So you'll choose a new one in July.
Okay.
And then the same way when we pick our board of directors person, Mr. Susan it's a 2-year position. His term will be up in June.
Okay.
And so we'll need to pick, but they'll be sending us emails. Right. It's time to pick. So in June, we'll need to pick a new board of directors. The BFB. Yeah. Is that one on here? No.
No, it's not even up. No.
So that doesn't change till the summer.
Okay. So Mel, that's been you, Mr. Susan. Are you wanting to retain that one?
I would love to retain it, but I do know that there's some others that like, I truly believe that if we could transition this to get a fortune, it's a very big honor to be a part of that. There's a lot of great organizations, leaders and stuff like that go there. So what I would say is that I'm talking to everybody else is like, hey, yeah, Matt, we could do it. But I do think that whoever the board here would be the most significant. I think Dr. Adele attempted pretty quickly. But I do know that would be a pretty good honor to the board chair to be a part of it.
Yeah, so that's an evening meeting, and I believe it is the fourth Thursday of the month. Rotates around the county, different locations. This civilian military organization. So our local military organizations leaders are there, and then some civic leaders were there, but it's really just really good people.
Just because I forget, a lot of the ECAC stuff that I do and everything else is with a lot of people that just work at that road. But I'll attend no matter what. And then if the board chair would take the lead, that I think would be appropriate. But if somebody else wants to do that, and I'll attend it.
I'm fine with board chair being the liaison for this one. Are you guys okay with that? Okay.
I do have more questions.
Sure.
Certainly support what Matt said. I'm just curious, aren't all, Mr. Susan, aren't all board members invited to each civil meeting?
Yeah.
Jensen.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure that the front of it to jar is that it's the $600 application.
Yeah, right. We all get a letter.
For those.
Yeah, it's all right.
Well,
We'll be bringing
to be honest with everybody in here, there's a lot of news organizations that we could be a part of and support. And if somebody like God or somebody says, hey, I'd like to be a part of it, UConn might not be, or there's something we should pay for. I don't think we just inhibited by $600 application. So,
Yeah, I did remember reading the application fee, but
see that usually inhibits and, everything.
okay.
Yeah, we do each individually get letters to be a part of
Inviting you to the organization.
inviting you to pay $600.
Yeah, it's inviting you to write a check for $16 million.
My recollection of that was that I didn't think that they charged elected officials, but I'm happy to pay the $600 and be a part of it. I just don't want to certainly defer to the chair being the head of it, though, or lead.
He's not the chair.
The chair, and the chair. Claim.
So we're gonna hold off and let that be the chair.
Okay. All right. So we'll make that board chair. Economic Development Council, the EDC. How often are you with them, Mr. Susan?
Yeah, what do you
That's okay. The EDC, the Economic Development Council.
Yeah, this one I'm getting ready. It hasn't been announced yet, but I'm going to get announced for the workforce chairman for the state of Florida, or like state of Florida and a bunch of the other entities. So I'd love to stay on that one, but again, I think it's one that we should all go to and attend as a board of directors. I also they'll probably end up paying moves from it from my company that I work for also.
How often do they meet?
So I would. They have four meetings, but then there's all those side meetings when they do a special project. So I would say there's probably about 12 meetings throughout the year. There's 12 big meetings. And I would say there's no problem. They would allow all of us to go. It would be a great thing for all of us to go together as a unit to these big quarterly meetings.
Mm-hmm.
You get the largest employer companies in the county. And I think it would send a message. Really do some of the special project things they do, like they'll bring in like a veteran. You know, when they want to use like I mentioned a little bit the food trip, they think that it's a quick plate that we're expecting meeting of the workforce of the different schools and stuff like that, or other things. You know what I mean? Like there's these one-offs that they do, like for like production technique business that I used to share for 5 years. It's like a lot of those little things if you all look consistently. So it's you guys from here that I do feel passionate about this one, but I think that we all have it. It's not making sense.
Yeah, I'm fine with you staying as the lead. To share the information with the rest of us when you get those meeting dates.
Sure.
I'd be happy to join if I knew when they were.
And I'm happy to be a backup 10. And
Okay, so we'll make Mr. Susan, you're taking primary, and Mr. Thomas is taking secondary on that one. Career source provider, Ms. Campbell.
So this was the first year that was my role, because this is kind of a new one for us to have. I think it just started when
I took it the first year.
Yeah, and I did not get to do anything with him this year.
I went and met with him. At that point, it was Marcy, I believe. Was her name Marcy? I can't remember her last name. Was the intro of
The
it?
name I got was a guy.
Yeah, well, it changed. But I went and met with her, and I just, extended an olive branch of, hey, here's who we are, and we would love to be a part of your meetings. Please keep us in the loop. And really didn't hear anything back as far as any type of meetings they were having to be a part of it. Career Source is a good resource, obviously, when it comes to us recruiting people. And
And our staff are meeting with them. I wonder if this, from 15 down, I think are new ones that we added. And I kind of feel like, we can, not to completely upend things, but I feel like these are ones that we should know about and go as we not, we don't have to be the board representative for that person, but just, I know John with the home built, you send me a text, hey, we're having an event, love to have you come. Just that we can go
as you, yeah.
right. And same thing with the chambers.
Well, I attend my chambers, and obviously that,
Right.
I don't,
Yeah.
there's Palm Bay.
And the same thing with NAACP. We share some areas, like John and I are both in the South.
Yeah.
And we both hit Melbourne Chamber and Palm Bay Chamber, because Palm Bay Chamber also covers West Melbourne. That it's just like let's just have an agreement that we're going to try to be involved with our local.
Correct.
Notice. I don't know if we need to have them on the list.
Yeah, not having them on the list is not necessarily a bad idea, but I think maybe what we need to do is, as a board, come together and type up a letter of introduction to just ask them to include us in upcoming events or meetings that they would like this board to be a part of. And then we'll loop you and Lena. That way you can just start on all of our calendars if there's things that are going on.
Yeah.
It probably
If I can speak to this one, Career Source for Board had a for the payout with step meeting. I think it's monthly. Dr. Rendell, you got invited to that yet?
I'm not.
They have a slot for the superintendent, and so you are 100% right, indeed. That's been a huge. This is more. I feel more of for the school district than the EDC is. EDC sometimes picks up what the Career Source for Board doesn't do. The Career Source for Board has now been tied into Volusia, I think, in the river of Chabai. So now it's become a 3 counties, component. And they have a lot of programs that could be funded through our schools. They just have done a very poor job throughout the years of doing it. I would love to get involved there and kind of drive some of that and get over the part through the EDC. I do know Linda Weatherman and everybody that's pretty much in the EDC also transfers over. And then the Night Harbor League guys, Dr. Adele, they are inside of there. There's like a lot of good guys that are in there. They were calling for the changes to try to happen so that we could drive a better in the tournament. So I was willing to be a part of it. And we're going to find out like that board meeting, I think, does have a sitting spot for you, Dr. Adele. They just haven't reached out to you.
It's crazy.
All right, Mr. Susan, my name is not Mindy, for the record.
Madam Chair. I have a question about the chambers
It's okay, I'll forgive you.
for these last ones. If we're all going to be able to go, is that something we should assume our own costs, or is that something we go through the school?
I usually pay for my own when I go to the Palm Bay Chamber, but I only go able to go usually a couple times.
Mine has a monthly luncheon that is paid through the district because I go as school board representative.
I check with her the week before the meeting, see if she can attend. If she can attend, I then go in and pay for it.
Right.
Same with Mr. Susan's
League of Cities.
yes, Boostus League of Cities. I go in and this last time he wanted to attend every month, so I paid for the whole 6 months at one time.
Yeah.
So we can do that through Lena.
Yeah, so through Lena.
Yeah, we do it with people.
So I know it's not just the cost of them. I was just curious if three of us want to go to a chamber meeting.
It's usually $30-$40 for lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just want to make sure we knew how to proceed.
Yeah.
And the district has a membership, so we should be paying them membership. If that comes up and you guys attend the same meeting, I have to advertise that, right? If they're going to know it's in attendance, yeah, always meeting. If it's just like any other time that we both are, right? You know, we're all at an event, right? I'm not going to make sure. It's just we're on our honor not to sit together and talk about school board stuff,
Right. We talked about golf today at lunch for the record, which I am not a golf person.
In between.
food, family, friends.
Yeah. Well,
Planets.
Golf.
Okay, so what's the board's will on this for the items 15 through 19 here, which are, do we just want to kind of leave these open-ended, not necessarily assign them to an individual and just...
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it just adds, because this is a lot of items.
Yeah, it is a lot.
I mean, I would be in favor of pulling 16 through 19 off, and even 15. I mean, if there's not a spot for us,
Okay.
You're a water right there.
just because, and then just say, hey, let's, to everybody's talent and interest and passion, get involved with
What your, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, and I will work on typing up a letter to send to everybody for you guys to approve it. If you like it, we'll send it out to these organizations just as a kind of an olive branch of we would like to be kept in the loop and invited to events that are coming up. You're interested in being a part.
You will get it. You'll get, like, I get emails from the Cocoa Chamber and the Palm Bay Chamber and the Melbourne Chamber, you know, which you probably are getting when you guys job, of when the luncheons are. But if you want to regularly go,
Yeah,
yeah.
I attend every month. So.
Yeah.
So, and just as a point of clarification for me, the new guy, if I'm the secondary, like for instance, ADC thing, and I want to go, would I just pay for that on my own, or is that something we do?
No, just doing the district. So that these are meetings that you're attending on behalf of the school board. So I don't, if it was, you know, you wanted to get new Nikes, that would you pay for that on your own. But if these are job related expenses.
I want to clarify that if you were not the primary, if that still was the case.
Yeah, you still go on as
Yeah,
for a channel board.
Sure.
part of your job responsibility. So, yeah. All right, good. So we got clear direction once they got committee assignments. So, Lena, I wrote these two. I don't know if you're keeping notes while this is all going on, but we can type it all up and send it out so everyone knows what committee they're on.
Okay, can I clarify? Sure, going to pull 15 through 19 from the list.
16 through 19 through the list. Mr. Susan would like to stay on Career Source, is what I heard him say. Correct, Mr. Susan?
No, I think that was 14. You said to stay there, right? It was 15. Correct.
No, he said he wanted to.
Oh, he did.
No, that's completely because the guy that runs that is another psycho. So
Yeah, that was good to see.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to remove 16 through 19.
Okay.
I'll take a letter and you guys can approve it if you like it. And if you change, change it, and we'll send the
Right. And including with the NAACPs too and whatever, just so they know. Right. Here's your area, people in your area. Then I will tell you, this last year I haven't been able to attend any of those because they're always on Mondays, and I have like
The North End NAACP isn't meeting on a regular basis, so so okay, all right. So that takes care of committees, and we are now on to the second topic of discussion, which is meeting dates. I think Dr. Rendell's things prepared for us.
Yes.
just one down, toss it down. Thank you.
Give me a sheet.
Jack on versus Jack.
Yeah, so we had some discussion, I think, at a workshop a little bit about the board meeting calendar for the coming year. And then there was some discussion about maybe going back to the format we had years ago, at least 2 years ago, whatever, where we didn't meet every Tuesday. We met every other Tuesday and had a workshop and a business meeting on the same day. So I had Lena work up option one, which is the current format we kind of came to last December, from this current year, where we do a workshop on a Tuesday, and then a business meeting on another Tuesday, and then a workshop on a Tuesday, and then a business meeting on a Tuesday, which is basically every Tuesday of the month we've got some kind of meeting. So she worked those up for you there. Susan, we've got copies of the two draft agendas that were on the agenda, draft meeting calendar.
Yeah, it's gone. Let me go.
So I went ahead though, and I'm a visual learner, so I did it in a calendar format. So I'm going to hand them out copies of it in a calendar format so you can kind of see the whole year. And one thing about the handouts that I'm handing out right now
The scenes.
is that
Best.
the first sheet is actually December. That we actually need to make a decision about December.
Okay.
So we've got the two calendars and we can compare those in a few minutes, but if you could just bear with us, means I explain the December quandary that we have a little bit. So both of these calendar sheets that I made, December is the same. Because right now that's something we passed last year. We usually schedule through December. So in option one and option two, we'd have a work session on December 4th.
The third.
December 3rd. A business meeting on the 10th, and then a work session again on the 17th. December 3rd is posing an issue for us because that is the FSPA FADS conference in Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
And at least 3 board members will be at that conference on Tuesday the 3rd. So we really won't have a hearing. So my suggestion would be to move the work session to Tuesday the 10th at 1 or 2 o'clock, and then have the business meeting at 5:30. But I didn't want to make that decision either unilaterally. But no,
If we're not going to have a quorum, we have to move
it
it.
makes sense.
Right.
Yeah. I'm fine with that. Board, I will be out of the country from the 8th to the 14th. So full disclosure, I will not be here for that week.
The work session topics are the WXY report, and there was something else.
Correct. So what we have on the agenda right now is the WXY preliminary report. This is the company that's doing a study about our enrollment, shifts and changes, the age of our buildings, all that thing, that kind of capacity study. And then the other topic is a presentation from a charter proposal. It's some charter company making a proposal. That's probably a 45-minute, half-hour, 45-minute presentation. That's it.
Oh,
But just 2 topics. So we could start at 1, or we could start at 2.
I kind of think with the difference my work, I need to wait.
I noticed all the topics because I don't know, they started like 1 and they're at 5, or 2 and they're at 5 carried. I think that I don't know if I really enjoyed having the meetings during the morning. And I didn't know when you felt comfortable with doing that to break it up. The only thing is that I was looking at that summer we'll always put a big block in the summer so that we can have vacation. Something like almost.
Yeah, but just for December for right now, well, if we're just talking about December, I feel like the WXY, I think we need to have time. I'm fine with doing it on the 10th. I think we have time. I'd rather start at 1 just so we have time for that discussion because that's a lot of data. And
It's totally fine.
yeah, you may have a little bit extra longer, a little bit longer dinner break if we need to.
Yeah, the board meeting. I'm not going to be here, so I can't weigh in on that one too much.
Would we still have the 17th for
We do. So the 17th, and for that, the topics are going to be, we'd like to share with you the discipline data from first quarter. We'd like to share with you there's another student sources topic, can't remember what it is, but it's just like 2 lighter topics.
Okay. Just for disclosure, I'm going to be out uptown on those days,
What's
15th to the 17th.
15th to 17th? Okay.
So Mrs. Wright would be out on the 10th, and Mr. Thomas would be out on the 7th.
Yeah,
I will be.
Michael.
yeah, I'll be here too.
Okay. So board, are we okay moving workshop then? The workshop that's scheduled for the 3rd to the 10th and doing a workshop on the same day as the board meeting?
Yeah. 1 o'clock.
Okay. All right. So we'll tackle that for the 1st.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. So that'll go there.
So
We're not doing that at 9:30. You're at like 2 o'clock or something? We're good. 1 o'clock? Okay. All right. Gotcha.
you got this.
All right.
So then I guess the next thing to do is to talk about the pattern of the meetings in the coming year. If you got January, we got December figured out. So started to do calendar year. Do we continue with the current format of a workshop on a Tuesday, a business meeting on the following Tuesday? So first and third, second and fourth, like first and third were workshops, second and fourth the business meeting. So do we want to have the second business meeting in the morning like we did this year? Do we have the business meetings back in the evening? And we want to do it. So you have the 2, so that's draft 1, option 1. Draft 2 or option 2 is if we went back to a format that we used a couple years ago where we only met twice a month and we did a workshop and a business meeting on the same day. And do you want to do them with 1 or 2 then 5:30, or do you want to, as persistent suggesting that we do workshops in the mornings, the meetings in the evening, or so drawing it up for you both ways. The option 1 has, if you look at the the map, not the map, the calendar, it's all laid out. You can see what a month looks like. Work session on is the first Tuesday, business meeting second Tuesday, fourth session third Tuesday, this meeting 17th, fourth Tuesday. And then the option 2 is we're doing 2 on one day, but it's only 2 days a month. So
I'll go first if you want me to. I'm going to
Like, what
go ahead, Mr. Susan.
I really like in fact. I do like it's like calculating just because there's always times they might need to load it up with us with a workshop or something like that. But if you're asking direction from me, I really like doing the 2 on the same day, which is my theory. But that is it's possibly to extend earlier in the day, sometimes.
That eliminates morning meetings.
And he would like to do them on the same day, but do like a morning meeting and then have a night meeting, which I'll be honest, as someone who doesn't live 5 minutes away from the building,
No.
Right.
not,
Says the Vieira guy.
yeah, right.
So,
I'm a fan of the morning of I like draft 1. Obviously, this was, I think when we started kicking this around, we got a little pushback from community people, but I know that we have a different crowd that attend is morning versus night. And not everyone works a 9 to 5. And so, being able to offer different times, I think is a benefit. I'm not a fan of a long marathon meeting. I think what we ran into first year was we would run into meetings where there was no real break in between. You couldn't leave here, go to Panera and grab a salad and get back here in time before you were going right into a meeting because we did not have enough time. And so that to me, I'm like, that's not the highest and best use. And you're kind of at that's my personal opinion. But I like draft 1, but whatever the will of the board is well apart. So,
I'll jump in there and go next. I like that we took a year to do it, to explore the morning evening meetings. To me, I would prefer going back to draft 2 and having the evening meetings and having them on the same days. One of the things that bothers me about the way that we have done it, even though it was nice at times, is we take up the boardroom every Tuesday, and which makes it, there's a lot of other things like today. That means they can't ever schedule anything on a Tuesday because we're doing something in there, except for our one. So I prefer it be consistent just for people knowing when are we having a meeting. So that's why I like going back to the evening meetings, but also doing the same day. I know your first year was not an example of how it usually would go. We very rarely were like backing up and not having time to eat. And if we wanted to make it 1 o'clock and 5:30, I'm fine with that. I mean, every now and then we have a workshop that was super short and you didn't have time to go home or whatever. But generally my first several years, first in COVID meetings, weren't like that. We almost always had time to go to dinner together and then come back or get food and sit in there and eat and before the meeting. So generally that was the case. When we get here, once we decide which direction we want to go, I have some problems with calendar too, that I think with just little quick fixes we need to make, like graduation week and stuff like that. So, but in general, I'm a draft 2 fan.
Draft 2, okay. Mr. Schmidt?
Yeah, I think your year was
No one likes my...
definitely not the ordinary. But we went through all those policies as well. I mean, I think Mr. Citizens are what got us going on that one. So I think things, it worked out great. I mean, we needed that. We can't be here for 8 hours and be on top of our game. We're still called a business meeting when we're, herding cattle and stuff at the meeting. So I think this year should be different. I'm an option 2 guy with some changes and look at it. I'm also stacking them, not necessarily morning and evening, but back to back. I could pull a lot.
Okay.
I think it'll serve our incoming board. Dr. Riddell, did you speak to the staff and which way they kind of like it?
The staff was kind of 50-50.
Okay.
Some people said they liked the fact that other business, the second business meeting of the month, was in the morning.
Yeah.
But those same people did make comments that we were tied up every Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like every Tuesday we're tied up with something, either a business meeting or a workshop. And so the ones that have been on cabinet longer remember the previous rotation and said, it wasn't every Tuesday. So it was kind of 50-50.
Okay.
I can't give you that.
And it's hard to be able to make something where we had an option 3 where we combined, we did something. I did like having that morning meeting and an afternoon meeting.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice to say we're thinking about everyone out there. So
People could.
if there's some hybrid, I think we can think about things if this way it goes. That second meeting, we have that option of that second meeting of the month to do something different as well.
You can always do a workshop after a meet.
I that's what I was thinking too, or do a 9:30 meeting and then a workshop after that second meeting.
Which is how we've always run our morning meeting. That in the summer meetings, we always ran this in the morning and did the workshop after.
So
Yeah, the other thing is, county member did make a comment that they don't mind the evening meetings as much now because we're not going till 10 o'clock at night.
it's an additional
We're an hour and a half.
Yeah, so they've done much better than.
So, but yeah, option 2, other than if this is what we got in front of us.
And Mr. Thomas?
All right, that's 3, John.
My first
now.
real vote. I'm going for option 2.
Okay.
And it's for just a few reasons. One is I think that there's majority of the community, there are some that work, at night, but the majority, it's more accessible. I think that it also frees up the superintendent and the staff schedule more, just in my conversations with the superintendent. And it also gives us more chance to have more schools do more presentations. Which we cut them in half by doing them the way we're doing that.
Yeah.
And then personal level, it fits my work schedule much better. So
Okay.
Sure. I'm thinking of that.
I would be open to doing it from 1 to starting at 1 and going if you have fit,
Okay.
whatever you maybe defer you guys.
All right. So much
The
to.
other thing I would say is that the board has the option to change the calendar anytime.
Right. And this doesn't mean we're not.
It doesn't feel right.
Right. And there are times when we're going to have other meetings. There aren't, because like when we do the superintendent's evaluation or the Paul's evaluation or whatever, we sometimes will still have to have those off Tuesdays. But we try to hold Tuesdays. Even before we did this crazy thing that we did last year, which it worked. We said everybody hold Tuesdays loosely because we do have these random things that come up that we have to have an extra something here or there, an offsite, you know.
Yeah.
Closed session.
Yeah,
So then we got to look then into, like you said, some tweaks.
yeah,
Because I
So-
I look at the summer of
yeah.
we're gonna
So
flip those, hopefully do more.
if we're gonna start with
Yeah.
2 as our basis,
I made these. I just set it up like with the path.
Sure.
yeah. So here's the things that I got. One, we've got 2 meetings in January. Sometimes in my years on the board, we've had 2 meetings in January. Sometimes we haven't. Just depends because when we come back, the staff is sometimes not had enough time to actually create anything to go on an agenda. So a lot of times in January, we'll actually split the difference and do one meeting in January, like it would be on the 21st. So that's up to you guys. That's my thought, is that we could just do one meeting in January but then have an offsite, or unless we wanted to do the offsite thing, not have an official meeting like it has on draft 2, but have the 14th be the offsite. You suggested that you had somebody you wanted to bring in.
Yeah, there's a gentleman, former superintendent, that can do Tyler
Yeah, I believe that.
training.
But then we just have one like regular meeting in January because we don't already have enough business.
I see what you mean. Yeah,
The other one, the second May meeting is graduation week.
Right.
That's not gonna work. But we could, because of the way the Tuesdays fall in April, we could move the May meetings to the 1st and the 3rd Tuesday instead of the 2nd and the 4th.
Sure.
Just a suggestion. So it would be like on the 6th and the 20th. That way we can still have.
That actually would make more sense because April.
And what date did you go for January? Well, I don't know. That's just up to whatever. We could leave them like it is, but make the 14th not a board meeting and make it an offsite. I don't know. Sue is the one, because, I mean, if we've got something that's waiting on a vote, it's going to be most likely in her department.
Right.
So
I think we absolutely should. I agree with you. Move the May meetings up because
Just makes sense.
that's going to have a Memorial Day holiday. Will be the 26th, and then we're going to go back to a board meeting the very next day.
Like you said, Dr. Doe, you just ran this in a calendar.
Yeah.
Yes.
So do the 6th and the 20th instead.
right. And there's a graduation, and I think it's O'Galley or somebody. There's a couple of graduations.
Sure is. Graduation week, though, is week 5.
Oh, shoot.
Oh, it is.
Hang on.
That's right.
What could I do? I looked at this before, though, because
Is anybody graduating on Tuesday?
yeah, it's on your calendars.
Because the King Center has owned what they want to do at the King Center now until the other day.
But are there any graduations on the 20th on your calendars?
And as you were asking, this is the West Shore.
Yeah.
There aren't any on the 20th on mine. There's the galleys on the 27th.
Of Gallows the 27th after New Orleans. I just
Yeah, because they want Kings.
No, that's
treasurer.
Oh, yeah.
Little calendar.
yes. That would be great.
We have Astronaut Cocoa and West Shore on the 21st. We have Edgewood, Rockledge, Bayside, and Space Coast on the 22nd.
Yeah, that's one I had to double up on there.
But Tuesday the 20th,
Is there anybody?
There's nobody.
But let's. Okay, that's perfect. Then
So we could do May on the 6th and
the 6th and the 20th. Yeah, for May.
So you do it.
right, so just Google.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, wait a minute, I'll say those graduations. Okay, so we have traditionally in June, and if we had a early July meeting, move those to the mornings because, employees could come, except for the ones who work up here. So I still like that, the summer meetings being at 9:30. I don't know if everybody else is good with that. And then we do the workshops right after. Would that be both you and John? Last year meetings like the
Budget meeting has.
The budget meeting we can't do, but that was the next thing I was going to say. What these can't change. And stuff. Last year we did not have an early July meeting so that the board could have a whole month.
Right.
And I like
It's through the patterns out.
Right.
yes. So if we're all in favor, I'd like to not have an early July meeting.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Well, since you have 2 in June, and the second one being the last week of June, just be
And change. And the next week, everybody's off pretty much.
right.
So that one will go, and then the 10th of June and the 24th will be 9.
30 a.m. And then the work session after.
Since we moved up, this is me just throwing things out. Since we moved up May to 6th to the 20th every 2 weeks, would that be too much room in between if we did the 3rd and the 17th in June
And it's 60 or 10.
instead of the 10th, 24th? So that would give us a
I don't know.
You know, the week of the 23rd, you could strike as vacation.
I mean, it's still two meetings in June.
Night.
There was a reason why I think we planned it. Katie, you said they have the board has a policy about being the second, and it's, well, in the contract with BFT, they tell the principals try not to schedule PTOs and things like that on the second and fourth Tuesdays of the month so that teachers can participate in brownies. The reason it doesn't lock us into that we have to do that.
Yeah, but that's the summer, so that wasn't.
Especially
Right.
in the summer.
In the summer, yeah.
Those are the thought. We did.
We could. I mean, I'm fine with the 10th and the 24th, but I'm fine with the 3rd and the 17th. It's those agenda items of, especially Sue's are the ones that seem to be so timely. But if we just had it on the 20th and it's 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks,
Yeah, I mean,
it's 5 weeks, right?
Well, no, because if we
So the 29th.
the 20th,
If we go from the 17th to the 29th, that's a long time to go without board meeting.
yeah, we might just move the July one up. You think? Or
No, remember July 29th can't change because that's
no?
the budget.
That's close legendary.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Well, you have something on your calendar you're trying to.
I mean, I don't have anything in my calendar.
Yeah, maybe the June ones where they are.
Except for can we move them to the morning and everybody go with doing June
Yeah, it's
in the morning?
Yeah,
And then we do the workshops after? Yeah, and the way they used to advertise them was they would start immediately after. Yeah.
correct.
and then we're canceling the July 8th meeting. Is that right? Or what?
Yes.
Second, no, July 8th.
And then there's just 2 other things I saw, and this is just because it was a pattern. We usually only have 1 meeting in November and 1 meeting in December. And we just usually put it in that third. I think it's usually the 3rd.
Correct. Because in November, is following the pattern,
Yeah.
set Thursday James on there instead.
Yeah. Oh, right. So let's just, if we just do the 18th and we're off of Thanksgiving and we're not on Veterans Day.
Right.
And we usually,
It's not an election year, so we don't have to swear anybody in. So is that okay still?
Yeah, you
I mean, as far as the
yeah, it's organization work meeting could be in.
okay,
So
so 4th and 18th,
we would just have the 18th.
No, just the 8th.
just the 18th.
Yeah, one in November.
Yeah, we usually only have one.
Yeah. We also usually only have one in December.
Yep. Again, just
So just do the 9th
Yeah, no, to do that.
in December. Yeah. And then we can have this, I mean, if we need to have an offsite or whatever, we will not. Because, yeah, we usually have 1 in January, 1 in July, 1 in November, and 1 in
Yep.
So,
Then a spring break, sometime putting that's the quarter March.
right. And I think I did check that. We're good.
spring break if we did.
Right. That was it. Like November's the 18th, right? Yes. And December is just the night. Those, yes. That's the night. The night, just
Yes.
trying to keep them up. Because FSBA will be the week.
Well, so to review, if you started at the very beginning in option 2, and then in the work session on the Thursday, December 10th, 7 p.m.
Wait, which month are you in?
Just something to
No, it's 6th of December of this year.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
So the 3rd is moved. The work session is moved to 10th at 1
Keeping the 17th because the work
on
session.
the 17th. The January, we were,
Did we decide
so we didn't decide.
What?
if we're going to have 2 or 1? Do an offsite. I thought you said an offsite on January 14.
Yeah.
Proposed, Jen.
I would say that too. I mean,
Yeah.
if we're gonna do an offsite too, because offsite usually is not as much business. A lot of times it's more
Discussion.
discussion.
But I don't know if we want to have a board meeting that night too, do we? Or are you just going to do it?
Well, that would be, yeah, I'm saying board session, so just at one board necessary.
So the only board meeting you'll be on.
Yeah, I can pick up real quick. I like ready to go up and do it.
Pretty easy.
Not what area about. I'd like to urge you guys. But I did want to say how proud I am of this board. I'm really excited to work with all of you guys. You know, I think there's something incredible about the connections that we have, or think that the represent way to. So I just want to say that there's a big chance that like still have stuff for groups and find out and fan everywhere. And that's how we're going to go. I just want to do that before I get dumped.
Thanks, Matt.
Safe travels. Okay, I have a question about January's work session offsite. Is it going to be a moving work session offsite, or would it be a 2 o'clock work session offsite?
But it was, we still we did the lunch and thing, right? At that, like we did.
So we do it at noonish or 1 o'clock? Oh, we usually start in the morning.
Yeah, I would say start it, especially if we're going to do the boardmanship thing.
Like a 9 to 3.
Well, yeah, the speaker.
Yeah, like a 9,
That's what the outside's for.
Yeah.
9 to 3 or 9:30 to 3.
If it finishes at lunch, then it finishes.
Okay.
So what time is the time?
Like night.
Nice.
So are we still, or is that going to be the 14th and then a business meeting on the 28th without president?
Yes.
Okay.
Will there be a work session on the 28th?
You.
Yes, there will need to be.
Yeah.
Can we have a caveat there, Dr. Rendell? If you go to staff and they say we can't wait till the 28th because we'll have stuff that we need to approve,
Yeah.
can we just
I'll definitely
do the 14th and the 21st? I'm fine with that. Just
one meeting in December,
Yeah.
meeting in January.
One meeting in the first. We're
Yeah.
want to make sure we're not ducking it hard on what our follows that we are. If we
February is clean, March is clean, April's clean, May we're moving both up a week.
Yep.
June, we are not moving the up a week.
But just moving it board.
Dan wants to move in the business meeting to first thing in the morning,
and the
workshop the fall.
That was for May, right? June?
June. That's fine. Sorry, May.
June, we're leaving on those dates, but remember it's the morning,
Yep.
the 10th and the 20th.
But May, the dates you just changed, but the times you're staying the same.
Right. So May will be the 6th.
And I'll type all links and stuff, and we'll correct the count.
Who's on first?
Yes. So you'll have to clean.
July, we're ex-naying the 8th, correct?
Correct. Cancel the meeting on the 8th, and then everything else and clean until you get to
No.
And we think that would be too much change by needing to put two meetings to try to put a 9:30 meeting in there during the school, right?
Well, that's what John was saying, but it would work better for his work schedule too. And
Right.
to have them in.
I just
You're talking about just for the summer, or you're talking about
Yeah.
every month, alternating?
I didn't know how popular or how beneficial the 9:30 business meetings were. Anyway,
Actually, it was a little bit of a problem for us. Because we were appointed staff,
yeah, you're right.
we'd have to leave school to come and be recognized. Like,
They just couldn't.
the principals haven't been recognized yet. So,
Well, and
not a big
student
deal,
groups, the student groups, I know some people fuss, but the group of people that it bothered me the most that would have a hard time are our employees if they wanted to come.
yes.
Oh, good.
This is, I don't know if this is the appropriate time to mention this or this idea or thought, but what is the board's appetite on possibly making Election Day a student holiday next year? Not,
But in the future,
2 year chip. So,
yeah, in 20 years.
In the districts that do that, it makes more sense because they use their school buildings for
Space Coast as a poll.
polling place.
we have one school.
I mean, yeah,
Basically.
Space Coast is
yeah, I have a huge
But-
appetite for that, so just tell someone.
Yeah, there's so few people that vote on election day in our county. I don't know.
I don't know, just a thought. I just was thinking it would be nice if it was a holiday to encourage voting. But throwing that out there, we can talk about it next year. And it's not going
I'm going to see 27 gallery. Yep.
all right. Well,
All right, there's an option there.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
No, and November we're going to November 18th is the only meeting. But in December, like,
Right. Killings. Got it. Shoot.
To do it.
Life is that fad. One more quick thing, because I said we're going back to committees. I think, Lena, you had mentioned that I think Mr. Thomas was asking questions of committees that we appoint people to, correct? Is that right? You were wondering, because this is more about committees that we serve as representation for the school board on. but what committees do we appoint people to? And so, we obviously, the book review committee is an appointment that we make. Each board member puts a representative on there. I don't know, for my end, I have someone on the planning and zoning for City of Titusville and City of Cocoa.
So you will have those people who get appointed to that are served on it for a couple of years. So when an opening is up for cities that you cover, so Palm Bay, actually, I think they're waiting on me to get a Palm Bay. But if you've got a Palm Bay person, I'll be happy to take your suggestion because I've been having a hard time filling that one. Palm Bay, West Melbourne, also happy to. They're waiting for me to get a James.
I just nominated somebody from West Mount.
Okay, good deal. I don't think Melbourne Beach has one, but oh my goodness, who is it from Sue's office? That Karen Black will reach out to you and say, "Hey, we need a person for this city." They'll reach out to you.
Who normally does the city of Melbourne?
Not, but it's changed because now I have a bunch of Melbourne, so it'll be whatever. We can just,
Those are the individuals. Is there any other committees that you can think that you appoint? Or
audit committee.
Audit committee, yes.
That's very important. And you can keep the person that was on there, or you can, not. Most of the people who have been on the audit committee have been on there for a long time, and I can't remember who that did.
I don't know who your person is.
So each board member goes and appoints somebody to the
Who
audit.
is it?
It's called Mayor.
Colbert. Okay.
And she was on.
Yeah, Tina.
She's one of the longest serving audit committee people. So if you want to meet with her, talk with her, see if you.
Yeah,
And that committee, every board member appoints somebody to.
Yes. Yeah.
So if you want to keep her, then you would appoint. I think you would you'd reappoint. Yeah.
Yeah. That we did have many self-discipline continue our, yeah.
Oh, yeah. You'll have 2 representatives that you'll be able to appoint to the discipline committee as well.
Which you should probably go ahead. They've already had one meeting.
Yeah.
2.
Yes.
One.
At least.
Yeah. I think they met last.
Some great.
So think of 2 people that, and Miss Dampier will send those to her.
Trying to think, is there any other appointments that we make? Let's play. Well, book. I said that. The book.
Did you?
The books are big.
Her for that. And then I think that's it.
Okay.
No, they don't. What was the first one called? The town one. Oh, the planning and zoning.
Planning and zoning.
The city is planning, but
They're non-voting members. They're there just to really make sure that there's no major development that's happening that's going to impact our potential capacity issues in our schools.
And Karen Black does all the training for the people but it's hard to get people to do that because they're non-voting member. A lot of times they think they don't.
No, but it's also very informative, and I mean, I don't know. Personally, I pointed to those people. They like.
And the county, we also represent. We select someone to the county planning and zoning, and I think that just rotates around. Like I've done it one time, some of you guys done it one time. So when that person is up, they'll just tag. Karen, reach out
here to it this time.
Did you?
Is that John?
Yeah, it's John, but it's been John, but Hub Garden, but different people have.
And they just changed it where he's a not voting member.
Yes. Right. So it's going to be harder and harder to get people to.
Yeah, that's I know.
So will he was upsetting.
Yeah.
John?
John.
Ruffling some feathers.
Okay.
Okay.
He does that.
So the last topic that we have on this agenda is a miscellaneous item. So obviously going into that a little bit right now with the committee appointment. Expulsion hearings, that's another funky thing. So just to kind of walk through, typically 3 members sit on the expulsion hearing when a student is, if they're challenging it and want to come before the board. That is a quasi-judicial process, so it is very much like a formal hearing, super uncomfortable and awkward, just so you know, and you're prepared. It's not the most fun because you have a student there that's advocating. He's got one next week. Oh, yeah, you have your first one. Right. One of the things I asked for when I got on the board was, and this is a personal ask, is that if the student resides in the district that, like my district, that I'm not on that committee because there's a good chance that I'm going to run into that student because I've had this happen. This came about because of my very first one I sat on. The very next Sunday, they show up at church and I'm there to welcome them at the greet. And I'm like, oh, this isn't good. Like we want to remove it to some degree, right? So just something to be prepared for. We rotated around and there's no real way to tell who's going to be on the expulsion hearing because it's all going to depend on where the student resides. But I had a question, Paul, on him because he's going into his very first board meeting and he's not going to have access to really look at Agenda Plus and see the expulsion packets.
Yeah, that one, since there is no packet that's going on board agenda because it'll be on the 20th is our hearing.
So
No, I'm talking about the actual board meeting.
we were going to ask for on Tuesday night. He
Yeah.
look at any of the confidential documents until it gets sworn in. So they'll be voting on all the expulsions without having been able to see them.
Yeah, we can get it on hard copy.
You're okay with that? Okay, so 40 sworn
Be
in.
redacted, even though because officially he's not supposed to see anything. Okay.
He's a board member on live.
Yeah, it's a board member like everything good.
yeah.
Public record.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of the other things, and I asked for this, and I don't know for the upcoming expulsion hearing that we have on are we able to receive that packet in advance notice? Because
I'm gonna send everything. They have a deadline of Wednesday this week to get me their exhibits and witnesses.
okay,
So, and if they can agree on stipulated facts and exhibits and witnesses, they're gonna send those to me. So
okay,
when I get those packets on Wednesday, I'll be putting together something for the panel,
okay,
and I'll send that to everybody that's on.
okay, good.
Can I suggest that, John, if you feel like you need to
Yeah,
meet with Paul earlier that morning, even just to get prepped for that particular.
Very much formal. So I mean,
Yeah,
y'all.
we sit in our judiciary.
So and
Thank you.
question.
Yep.
Thinking this one.
well,
So because we're going to be nominating the chair and the vice chair, who's going to run that meeting if neither one is potentially in the expulsion hearing?
the board chooses someone to run. So the three that are there will elect
Okay,
and chair that meeting.
okay,
And just on that whole process, I think it's cleaner as we do pre-hearings before expulsion hearings. Say we have like Wednesdays held for those pre-hearings. I prefer the board members that's excluded to be on there just because they can actually give their opinion more freely. Because they can say, hey, you're in my district, I'm not going to be on your panel. So here's what I see when the parents explaining their case to them. And they can say, I see this is what I see. Just take it for however you want. I'm not going to be on your committee. So it's like, you don't have to worry about what. Whereas the Istanbul chair, the last one, she's going to be on the panel. So it makes me more nervous what she's in there with the attorney. And we had an attorney on this one. So he's going to come up and say, oh, she was biased. She sat in on the pre-airs. And so I don't like that book as much. I don't think it would get us overturned, but it just ranked at, yeah.
can they can request a plea for the entire board to be present if they wanted to?
They don't have any right to request for it. All I need is three.
Oh, they don't.
And our Willie sees it.
Yeah, it's just like a board meeting. If 3 board members show up on any given night, whatever passes, passes. That's board action. So
Back up. All right,
that's why we have 3.
all right.
That the pre-expulsion hearing is it's something that you should know about though, because that does rotate around. However, we end up deciding.
It's been the chair that does it, and then it's right when the person whose district it was in to not be there. So we would go to the vice chair, depending on if it was in the chairs. I like excluding whoever's excluded by their district to sit in on that because again they're insulated. They're not going to be making any decisions, so hopefully that insulates them from this right situation at church.
Super awkward to this day. It was Sunday.
So it's like, but all she had to do is sit in on the pre-hearing and then say, hey, I'm just talking to you as a person based on what you said. This is kind of what I see. I'm not going to be here sitting here for your final hearing, so take it however you want.
Couldn't that potentially alter what their defense is when they go before the panel?
Well, they may decide not to go the full. A lot of times, what happens is they get before in the informal, and then they decide, okay, I'm not going to pursue this any further. We're going to be done here.
A lot of times they don't feel heard at the school level, so they come in here, the board member's sitting there, they get what they want off their chest, and that's really what it's for, is to try and curtain out so we don't have a full.
And then the district staff are sitting across also, and then they get to have a chance, even though they've talked to them probably individually several times. They a lot of times will come to an agreement before. So I don't think we've only had since we started that process. We've only had like 1 or 2 expulsion hearings in the last couple of years. So yeah, and we used to have them like every month. So
The rest, it's going to be long. I tell you guys,
yeah,
It's going to be really.
this week's going to be long. It might even roll into Thursday. So
Yeah.
we got an attorney, and he is going hard at it. He's already preparing for appeal.
but
Which is why I would like to have the packet ahead of time, just so that I could.
Yeah, their evidence. I mean, I'm going to send the packet for sure to everybody and their petitions. But
Okay.
I can't send you guys any evidence because unless it's stipulated to, because you don't know what's going to be admitted.
Okay.
So I can't send you that.
I see about the agenda plus after this.
Okay.
Okay.
And you're gonna get with him on giving him the expulsions that are on the agenda for the next board meeting.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
I was a giver and access to you the agenda plus.
Okay. All right. Did you grant his agenda or no? Or the agenda on the attachments for the board meeting, or you're gonna give him the
him access today so that he can go on it.
Okay.
Plus, and look at the agenda just like you guys do.
Okay.
Will that change?
When he's
Can I get my computer now because of this?
now, but
Or is it still stuck in charge in the district chart to your departments and grid fire?
can't
Okay.
I feel like
link for agenda.
it's okay. I think I'll be information. I'm going to go share.
Yeah. All right. It's probably good. So that's just
You know what? You
The site is
really on the website.
website.
If don't doubt.
It's
Sure. It doesn't really matter. I mean, you could log in on your personal computer, even if you could bring in board.
And our email is all on the cloud, so you can log in through the district website. If you're ever if you're out of country, it doesn't work. If you're on vacation, you don't want to bring your work computer and your personal computer, you can access your email and agenda post, all of that through the browser.
Okay.
There's a way to go in. Or is that the back way? Do we need to do the VPN thing for him so that he can access from his home? Did you guys have to do that to get a VPN?
Russell will get your score.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did or do rest.
all right. Department directory. So this would have been so.
Yeah, department directory is something Mr. Rayer put together and Scotty Little put together. That has like all the departments in view. Who call for what?
They're the process.
Their extension, stuff like that. And then the other packet is the organizational chart that's on the website. It's the best Asian department, I think. So we thought we had to ask for Mr. Falmus, but obviously everybody could.
Yeah.
I probably would take Stalvik.
Yeah.
We're to go on a big fall.
I was Paul. Listen.
You better know the answer.
This is. Yeah.
Thank you. That would be helpful.
Miss Campbell, you had asked me to write down the dividing up of schools and that being a little bit funky. So
Yeah.
you want you to lead on this one?
Yeah. And I don't know if Mr. Susan's still on. So when we redrew the district lines a couple years ago, right after that, remember we said, let's just leave the schools the way they are because we were all elected from the districts the way they were. But now that Mr. Thomas has come on, he is, he's carving out a big chunk of District 5 for the most part. I think we need to do some shuffling around to make sure, for example, the Meadow Lanes and Central are smack dab in the middle of District 3. So it's appropriate for him to take those, along with Columbia and a couple other things. But if we only, and Sue shared this with us a couple years ago, we did this, if we only give District 3, the schools that are inside the line of District 3, District 3 only has like 13 schools and only one high school. So I worked up something that I can send to you guys. I know Mr. Raymer was working on it too. My goal was to try to give as many, to try to make it even as possible.
Right.
It's not going to be
Right. It's not going to.
but I'll give you for an example. Bayside High School is like, here's the line, and here's Bayside High School within the line of District 5. But the way the District 3 comes farther over, the majority of students who go to Bayside are going to be following the line. So I would propose for District 5 to give Bayside to District 3.
Okay.
So that he gets a second high school. West Shore is a choice school, and it's easy to give West Shore. That would leave me with 2 high schools. Mr. Seuss, I don't know if you're on. You may not like this idea, but just to kind of make it even, because now he's got multiple high schools, to try to give everybody 3. I think it still gives you 4, but yours are little. That would mean that I was going to suggest Oak Alley is very similar. It's in District 4, but it's just right across the line. And now District 5 comes so that if I got Oak Alley, and then I'm going to send it to you.
Well, look, you're going to see this because this is a lot of.
Yeah.
I'll have 5. I'll have 5 high schools.
Right. And so either he could take Keep Rockledge.
Right.
Or he could take Edgewood, since it's a choice school. A lot of school people from Viera go to Edgewood. And then he ends up with like a bajillion middle schools because of the new middle school. So
Yeah.
I but my goal was to give District 3 as many schools as possible, and I think I got up to 15 or 16, just so that we have, District 4 is still going to be like way more than everybody else, but I think I got it about 19, and I think you still had 19. So I'm going to send that to you guys. It's not something necessarily we vote on, but we do need to agree pretty quickly because I want Mr. Thomas to be able to
know what schools to represent.
I mean, it does fit. I mean, it fits John Thomas well too, because you have another job as well.
Right.
And if you had tons of schools out there, it might be a little more difficult. It's
Oh, I know it. District 4 picked up satellite. And there's
Right.
That can't really fit with District 3 anymore because there's like a big jump. So District 4, so Mr. Susan picks up satellite. The easiest thing is for him to let go, to release one, which was, he's going to want to hold on to Oak Alley, but I was going to just throw that out there as an option to try to make it as even as possible.
Okay.
So I didn't know, Dr. Rendell, did y'all have any input from the one that I sent you?
Not really. I think we were going to look at a feeder chains outer, but we don't really have true feeder chains everywhere. Pretty close though.
Yeah.
And then the choice schools are kind of outliers. And so our thought was to use the choice schools as balance if we needed to. Like if there was one, how we divide them up, if there was one person, one zone, one area that didn't have as many schools as the others, then choice schools could be assigned to that board member, because then if there's really no feeder chain pattern,
Right.
there's no attendance zone there.
Yeah.
I'll email it to you guys if y'all want to take. Oh look, Mr. Raymer, literally 349 just sent this to all of us. Oh, he sent it to me. Never mind. So if you send some ideas, it doesn't really change one. It doesn't change two because y'all signs didn't really move very much. Oh, this is old. He sent the old document to me. Okay, so I'll send you guys this and then my new plan. But
Okay.
I mean, it does play a role when you're running for office.
Well, it plays a role with who they want. I'm thinking more like who they want to contact.
Right.
They will contact all 5, and I had somebody reach out to me just because that was the name they want to reach out to. But people want to email their person.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, it's very important.
So it's school visits, but it's also who the community wants to reach out to. And I think it's best if it's closely as aligned as possible to, where the schools are and the constituencies and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Madam Chair.
Yeah.
So I won't certainly want to pull my weight, and I'm fully open to taking whatever schools you guys think they should be allocated. Just one point is that it was my understanding, and I might be totally off base, but was my understanding the reason why the districts even changed to begin with was because citizens knew who to call. Based on their county commission district, it was the same as the school board district and that kind of thing. So just don't want to open up a can of worms that we're changing, moving schools around, and then the community's in uproar that they don't know who to call now.
Right. Well, when they look at that, though, there is on our school board site,
Right.
It says District 1, Megan Wright, do all these schools. District 2, Jane Trent, do all these schools. So that's the way they are usually looking at it. And
Definitely, and it's a big deal. That's why we did it. I personally did was to stop the confusion during the campaign. They're like, "Yeah, I looked up, and I'm District 2, but I'm District 3, and school board right now.
Yeah.
Hey, we corrected that. I don't want citizen to say, I thought you guys corrected that. I thought you are.
Graduate.
It was where I was going to go. It's said that it is.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's
Take one of these, and this was Mr. Raymer's workup for graduation.
Oh, yeah.
And then these are the schools that are within the boundaries. The top is the way it is now, and the bottom is the way just limiting just the schools that are actually in your boundary.
Yeah.
that's another cheap. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so we need to. This must be what we already are. It's a P2.
Yeah. So the bottom one is yeah.
I'm looking at the graduation one. Yeah, the bottom one is these are the schools that are literally within your boundaries. But the thing is, I hear what you're saying, John, but you know, the thing is there's so much crossover. So someone could be within District 5. There's a lot of District 5 people who go to Central Middle School, for example. Say live down in that part of Palm Bay around Discovery Elementary, but they go to Central. So I will be there. I mean, voting wise, they're my constituents,
Understand.
but Central is
They live in one district but go to the school.
right. And so they're going to email whichever one they want. You know, most of the time they will go with the school one though. So
I'll kind of raise that point just because that was what I heard was behind the whole district changing to begin with. So I just want to bring that to everybody's attention to consider. I'm happy doing however you guys decide.
I mean, it's not that big of a variation. So if you have schools within the school board member district boundary, I mean, you're looking at, Gene, you have the largest. I mean, with 18, right? So BPS schools within county commission district boundary. Sorry, why is this so confusing?
Well, the body exact what it should
It's
be.
the same. I know we made them the same. So why is it?
no, so the top
bottom.
is how it is now. The bottom is how many the schools that are actually within the new boundary.
Gotcha. Okay.
And if that's what, if you look at District 3, there's only one high school, Palm Bay High. There's two middles, which we all pretty much have two middles except for Mr. Sisson's Bendigo. And well, you have junior, senior.
Is it the bottom?
Juniors.
What we voted on changing the boundaries to, right?
Yeah, the bottom is public right. Yes.
Right. So that's where we're at.
Right.
Right.
Yep.
So, you know, again, trying to make things more aligned with, you know, like I said, Bayside, for example, them.
I can see that. I could see where you say, because there are schools here, but most of the students that go there are from York. Yeah,
Right.
I can see that.
So if we're just trying to shuffle and give another high school, you know, it's easy to give District
That's
3.
easy.
Yeah, it's easy to give District 3 West Shore because West Shore is a choice school that kids.
But to say, like, we're going to give Edgewood to someone else, that's right in the middle of by.
Yeah.
Then you say that Satellite was going to be moving to Mr. Susan's district.
Yeah, look at the bottom.
It's listed in my district.
Right, look at the bottom. The bottom.
That's all it is. No, that the bottom one is what we actually are now. So the top one is what it was before we redistrict. So the bottom is what you actually have.
Oh, okay. So the one she was saying, her proposals are on this one.
Right.
This is
This is what it looked like prior to redistricting. So I mean, District 3 has always had less schools. I mean, only one less than I have 16. I still have 16. I don't know. I guess my feelings on this are to let it be what it actually is. And if you were going to do anything, the choice schools is a good area to say, okay, you can, sprinkle a school here or there. That's probably the easiest solution. But what's the difference in the coloring? Why because these are the ones that are moving. Is that why they're
that moved?
I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And from which district they moved?
That's confusing.
right.
Yeah.
See, I have Kennedy and Rapsage at the bottom.
Yeah, yeah.
It came from District 4, but that was the same color up top.
I gotcha.
They just moved from there to down there.
Yeah.
You need a separate page. I see back. See,
See that?
Well, the thing is, the district two schools, a lot of them are very small.
Yes.
Even the high schools are very small.
Yeah.
But it is a lot, it's a lot of visits,
Yeah.
And I was even trying okay, what did my student population? But then it just got so crumbly.
It's too
I mean, let's face it. There's mayors of small towns and mayors of larger towns. And that's just the way it is. I didn't even know Melbourne or West Melbourne had a mayor until we met him.
Yes, we have. Of course, we have a mayor.
I got his card. I'm like, it's a town. All right.
We're not even the smallest. We've got 35,000.
But that's just the way it
And that's fine. I just wanted to toss that. And you guys haven't seen my idea, so I will email it to you when I find it. Because I lost it. So I mean, I just want to make sure that we're all covered and trying to. I did reach out to some other districts and say, how do you do this if you're all not even? And a lot of them were like, oh, well, we go to all of them. Okay, well, your school district only has 12 schools in it. And they all go to all the graduations because they only have 3 graduations. It's harder to do that in a bigger district. But I did talk to someone, I think of Volusia, that they're just lopsided. They're lopsided.
do most like Orange County or Volusia, do they mirror their county commission districts, or are they separate? Different.
Orange is weird because they also have an at-large member. that's elected, and they have an at-large chair. So I don't really know how Orange does it because they have a 7-member board. It's passionate, including their chair. So it's different. And other counties like Lee that are bigger have, and Polk, the ones that have 7 people on their board, they'll have like 5 from their district, and they have 2 at-large members. So they have to divvy theirs up a little bit different because the at-large people obviously aren't going to go to all the graduations.
Yeah.
So, but we need to, this graduation thing, I think he wanted us to figure out,
Who's attending what?
what's not covered. So we need somebody
Somebody needs to go to West.
at West Shore.
What is it?
It's on Wednesday. I'm at a graduation on Wednesday, and
I'll be happy to volunteer and take.
Okay.
West Shore. Okay.
I believe I'm at West Shore already too, so I'll bet that.
Yeah, they did pictures on there. Okay, that's on the Wednesday.
So
Are those normally like, are we expected to make an address, or?
So principals will ask.
It depends on the school.
Yeah.
what about Edgewood? Nobody's at Edgewood.
No, I should be right.
Oh, on the Thursday?
Not.
Oh, do I have the ball?
You can't because
You're at
there's-
Westlake.
yeah.
Where's Cocoa Beach? Oh yeah, Cocoa Beach.
So there's
I have one bridge.
Oh no, he's at Rockledge on Thursday.
you're at Rockledge.
See you later.
So, what if Mr. Susan took Rockledge and you could go to Edgewood?
Yeah, I'd probably prefer that.
Wouldn't that make more sense?
Yeah, is Matt anywhere on Thursday?
No.
No,
No.
no.
Well, that's perfect.
So then that's
And then also, Brevard Virtual School is a sweet graduation. It's very small.
Is it virtual?
No, it's in person. Well, next that's class. If you'd like to go to that,
Sure.
do we need somebody for that? And that was just kind of, they invite all of us. And if I didn't already have graduation that night, I would go because it's
yeah. I have graduation Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
right. Yeah, it is.
At Thursday. See,
I'll do adult ed.
Yeah, no, adult ed's a good one. As many people who can go as possible. Adult ed's great. Okay, so Friday there's a whole bunch. We do not have anybody. Oh, he put me at Mel.
just to back up, would you put me down for the virtual school?
These days on.
For the
But I had pictures.
So that's the third Thursday.
that's
Friday.
Board meeting.
okay. So that one for you for the.
I mean, I'll make it work if we don't keep.
I have both of them. Yeah, because we hadn't decided whatever you decide on. Okay, write those out. And nights. So we don't have anybody. Matt must not have RSVP'd.
To what?
Yeah, this list is actually all because mine, not all of mine are on there.
Okay, because there's nobody at Vieira on Friday, but I'm assuming that would be Matt.
Yeah, it's just
So I tell you what, if you want to do a Friday night graduation, if you'd like to do Mel High, I will do Heritage. I'm not giving you Mel High, just so you know.
No.
But I can't do both of them the same night.
That's fine.
Are you interested in that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It looks.
So you're gonna take
Wednesday, Thursday, Fridays.
Heritage, and he's gonna do Mel High.
Yeah, we're taking Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Graduation week, just don't plan on doing anything else.
Yeah, your life is only by the district graduation.
So on the May 22nd one, I'm happy to do it if it needs coverage.
The Brevard Virtual.
Yeah, I have a conflict, but I'll make it work. That's
Well, I mean, they don't even always have a board member there. There will be there's 2 staff members who are going to be there. So if you can't,
okay.
Yeah,
See which could close.
Okay. And then so Saturday there's 3.
Where? I mean, Saturday.
Palm Bay High always says there's on Saturday morning. So
it might not be there Friday. Yeah.
Saturday night, Mr. Susan will probably be here. I probably do satellite.
Let's just say some will be here.
So Merritt Island, you're doing Mr. Trent on Saturday.
Yeah.
John, you're doing Palm Bay.
Yes, ma'am.
And then Satellite.
Should be Matt.
Yeah.
That
Sure. Well,
and if he can't do it for whatever week, sure, there's somebody there.
Okay.
And then Tuesday is Gallic and adult ed.
I'll do adult ed.
Yeah, I'll plan on being there if Matt doesn't like my idea.
Who's going to take O'Galley on Tuesday?
Well, if he holds on to that one, that's fine.
That should be Matt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll plan on going to adult ed too. That's also a great graduation. They like get to share their testimonies and stuff. It's good.
Great.
Cool. All right, so
So which ones are you going to, Eddie? Don't want to make sure I know. Bayside, Heritage, adult ed. Okay.
do you want all of us to go through and tell you which ones we're at? So
Yes.
okay. I'll go mine. Mine is adult ed on Tuesday, astronaut, Space Coast, and Titusville.
Do it. So they Cocoa, Edgewood, Cocoa Beach, Spirit Island.
So all the ones that you were marked on here would have changed.
I'm not going to Rockledge.
You're not going to Rockledge because
Master.
restrictions.
Yeah,
No.
because you're older. If I'm going to.
Then I'm going to West Shore,
Yeah.
Mel High, Palm Bay, and potentially Reward Virtual School.
All right, and then for Matt, I'm going to give you his, then hopefully can put him on the calendar for him. So he's O'Galley on Tuesday. It's like he should be Rockledge on Thursday.
Okay.
And Vieira on Friday.
Okay.
And Satellite on Saturday.
That
But if you can put these on all of our calendars, that would be true.
I have some of them already on your calendar,
Okay.
but I'll go and make sure they're all ready. I think
Our virtual guardian.
we had a tentative list.
Okay.
Happy little
Okay.
something. Ooh, you just raised good stuff. The only thing I went back and found the email that I sent you was like how, just like random things like, hey, they already told you we get paid on the 15th and then the last day of the month, unless it's fall on a weekend, then it's the day before that. Retirement, they'll take 3% out of your paycheck, like every other employee. It's a FRS requirement. And then you can, they'll I will tell you it takes a couple months for it to kick in, but FRS and all of that, if you don't see it. And then obviously the insurance, you can sign for insurance within 45 days. And we just had open enrollment, but you do that. Yeah, you'll have a qualifying event.
Okay.
Any other of those kind of questions you want to ask? Or like the awkward, you didn't want to say anything to anybody?
Right. 100.
I mean, most of mine would just probably ask Ryan or just one of the staff, but I'm still getting the whole Florida retirement system. I'd like to learn more about it.
Yeah.
How it works. Is it after 8 years, after 2 terms? Is there a multiplier? Like you have to be? How's that work?
That's a good question. Now, you're as an elected, you're already getting it. You start out
Right.
higher level as an elected official. Yeah.
But the higher level is what the district has to put in. It's but what you actually get is not necessarily higher. It's still only 3% plus whatever the match. Because I thought that too. I'm like, oh, they're paying so much more in, but you don't get all that.
Is it 3% of your 8 years, for instance, if you did 2 terms?
Oh no, I'm saying they're going to take 3% of your paycheck.
All right. I mean, is there like most retirements? There's a multiplier times the number of years.
It's not a pension. It's because elected officials are only able to do the investment account. So you'll be able to go in there and pick from their choice of investments, which ones you want. But I think you have to be like an elected official. I think you have to be like more than 12 years before you can switch over. When I got on the board, they said that wasn't even an option for us. You're just weird because you're a teacher. You were a teacher. But even new teachers coming on, they have to do investment plan too. So you'll be in the investment side.
The default teachers can swap over. They get one. You get one chain. Your FRS. The teachers get the option to come in at pension or investment. Investment carries a 1-year investment period. Everyone else is a team. So you're not fully vested until after 8. If you're in a pension, I don't know about elected. You get the option.
But ours are in there under the investment. So you could just have one extra retirement thing to add on to your other one.
Great. I did have something I wanted to make sure you guys were aware of.
Okay.
Is that this?
Yeah.
So I don't know if Matt's still on.
But he's off.
He's okay.
That's right.
So years ago, obviously, you guys know I'm the CEO of the Home Builders Contractors Association. And before my time there with the past CEO, Matt had coordinated working out a Thanksgiving dinner with the Boys and Girls Club at Temple Terrace. And so when I came on, I inherited it, and I've done it for 3 or 4 years now, where it was been. And Matt's always played an integral role as far as sometime he was getting chairs from the school district to bring there. That's not necessary anymore, but he's been involved. So obviously I'm going to be there this year on November 22nd. He's going to be there. And so I want to make sure that you guys know about it, that you're aware of it, number one. I don't know what we have to do if there's anything that needs to be done for as far as noticing it or anything, but it's just like,
I mean, they can put on.
It's on November 22nd. Is that what you said?
The Friday. It's the Boys and Girls Club Thanksgiving.
Boys and Girls Club Thanksgiving dinner. It's from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Obviously, most of my board members will come. They donate the food, money for the food, and we put together a dinner, and then we serve it to them.
I think I'll just let them know.
Yeah. Would you
Can you send us an invite?
the location?
Sure.
Yeah. That'd be great. And if it's just a social occasion.
It's 100% socials. And
Yes.
Yeah, you can always be with. You guys
Help, sir.
hang out in the park or
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to put us to work? Yeah.
yeah,
Please do. Like,
Long as we're
Matt's only there just taking pictures, but you guys can help serve.
long as we're hearing it, I'm good.
yeah. Yeah. I don't want to.
It's all like no phone calls from you guys that week of Thanksgiving. I'll be on a cruise.
Oh, that's
And I think we had talked about this there. What town is where you guys serve breakfast? Just on cue.
that's the annual meeting.
That's the ESF breakfast.
And that
December?
It's in December, but it's
is it December?
yeah, it's Christmas.
You're hit me when he was breakfast.
He's Can you have Allison send us the date for the ESF Christmas party that we started? Practice.
I'm like, I just have that on my calendars.
I hope it's not the week of FSEA.
If.
Oh.
Well, no, sir.
Then I can have, because I'm not going to be at FSCA. So
It's the week of FSEA.
Oh, it is.
It's almost always that.
Maybe that's why.
Said Columbus gets for king this year.
What? We serve breakfast with the cabinet
Yeah.
for everybody who works.
Yeah, for trains.
Oh, it's the third. The only is it not a third?
Fifth.
Oh, we're still going to be over there.
and then send me the invite. Anybody else?
Is there any legal updates or anything while we're all together?
Oh yeah. Well,
No, yeah. Actually, filed a re-hearing on Bonton, Moms for Liberty. Miami-Dade's filed an amicus petition, asking the court for legal to file. They filed that today. One's going out in it.
that's in.
Social media was the other thing I had put on that list. I don't know if you're planning on having a Facebook page, but for your school board role.
And debating.
Yeah. I mean, some of us do, some of us don't. I mean, I'm pretty active online posting pictures, so or just sharing events. There's a school.
I hate on that.
Whatever. It's so cheery. I did get all up last week about the bus, people passing the buses, and I was like, I gave a scathing like, and you're about to get tickets. And anyway, I gave everybody a warning. All of our secrets. I know. Like, stop.
Most of you guys have your own Facebook?
I do. Megan Shutter's down. I have been with mine since I was elected.
Let it sit there.
I
don't think.
probably will reactivate it and start using it some. I need to.
So put a disclaimer on there that this is your that's not the school board's.
You'll learn it.
And if you come in here and use profanity or vulgar language, you're just hide them, don't delete them,
But yeah, you can't delete comments. It's all public record.
and stay off of each other's pages.
Yeah, and your best bet is either no comments. It's either like no comments or all comments, right? I mean, it's not. You can't block people.
Yeah.
You can't.
And shut off anybody commenting.
You can, but it shuts off everybody commenting, right? And that's really.
There was a ruling out of the 11th, I believe, or maybe it's the Northern District of Florida that said you can delete or block if it's your personal. You got to take like a whole bunch of steps. The district doesn't even want to jump through all the hoops. I sent it to them, and then they said it's not worth too much to try and get to. So I would recommend just block or don't, and then hide as you can.
If people have left threatening things or vulgar things, but I've hit them.
It's a good
If
worth
it's
shot to go.
someone that's continuously doing it, that's a problem, you can say, hey, I'm going to block you if you don't stop. Here's like warning number one. And then, here's your final chance. Hiding these comments. If you don't stop, you're going to be blocked. And you need to go through that too.
But obviously the district does social media. Media-wise, we, the board chair is a spokesman with the board, with media, but reporters are going to reach out many times to all of us, and we are fine talking to, and it's our school board working guidelines, which you've probably already gotten a copy. You can talk to whoever you want to and just say,
Sometimes you
if this,
My opinion.
this is John Thomas, right?
not for necessarily the opinion.
But you can also absolutely say, I'm going to let the board chair speak on that topic.
Right.
And most of the time it's
Wow.
like the district.
Most of the time, the district is the one that responds. So I don't think I've had to come out in the year that I've been the sheriff to speak about anything. The mall, no.
Sometimes at board meetings, the news media is
Chair, but I still
Yeah.
spoke on that one. Gosh.
Just protocol. As if I have an initiative I want to bring up, is that my past experience is like one or two ways. Either you got to go through the superintendent ahead of time, or bring it up at a board meeting and it goes to the superintendent to help carry it out.
Best practices, no surprises for that.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I do.
Right.
nothing surprising with that.
Yeah, so just would be to discuss it with me, and if I think it's something that requires kind of board corporate approval, then we bring it up at the workshop. Yeah, that's the best place to explain your idea, whatever, be at a workshop, and then you kind of get consensus from the board whether they move forward or not.
Okay.
And there could be some things that are simple. I was visiting one of my schools, and they need this awning, they have something need for corporate to do something like that. But we want to do something big, like highlight a year-round school or do something that's good. And we want board corporate to give their blessing for do something like that.
And if he's being really stubborn, and then you can bring it up in a board meeting.
Yeah,
Can always bring it up at a board meeting. I just it's come up with protocol.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I'm going to ask this question and just think about actually this in our one-on-one, and I don't know where the board feels in this, but we obviously have started implementing the weapons detection devices. They're going really well, and the schools, no real issues there. What's the board's appetite on installing them here at the district prior to them being fully launched at every single school? Like having the weapons detection devices up.
So to add more context, Mrs. Wright talked about like at the next board meeting, could we have the open gate system, in place here for everybody attending, all the public attending the board meeting? And I said, we have, machines, we have the apparatus, available.
Right.
We, Mr. Wright, Mr. Wilson, and I had kind of thought we'd get them out to all the schools before we did it here, because we wanted to make sure we're protecting all our students and staff before we was, But
I think I have a question,
but we can do it.
Madam Chair.
Good. Oh, a good discussion.
Is there anything, if we were to do it here, is it going to slow down the implementation at any school?
No, we actually have enough devices. It's not going to slow us down.
That wouldn't affect it in any way, correct?
Correct.
So I'd be for installing them as soon as possible.
Oh, that's kind of my feelings on it too. It's not going to hinder the delay in any school, and unfortunately, the times are a little crazy. People are crazy, and I mean, hopefully, a lot of the crazy's on its way out. But my feelings on it are, you go across the street to the county commission meeting, you're walking through metal detector, devices, and you go anywhere and you're walking through them. So I just feel like
You got to go to the port.
you go to anywhere in any of these governmental buildings around here, you're going through one of those to get into any kind of meeting. So
If anything, we've kind of be highlighting, hey, this is
how easy they are. Look at this.
in our school.
Every time you even know.
Students
Yeah.
say,
I get that the concern was, what is the community, what's the thought process on it? Again, what we see here, a lot of times are really emotionally charged parents that sometimes are not. Sometimes they're advocating, sometimes,
If it slowed down the implementation for even one school, then I'd say let's wait, but my opinion. But if it's not slowing down the implementation of all, then
It wouldn't cause any.
right, because there's something mobile.
and we have trained people up here.
Yeah.
I kind of go back and forth because, I'm just seeing what if, how to look. But then if we're doing it like, hey, this is what our kids are walking through every day. It'll be simple. I don't ever.
I mean, for that reason alone, I think that would be wise. But I agree with you as well. If it slowed anything down.
And I'll check with Mr. Wilson to make sure, but I don't see why it would slow it down. We've ordered enough devices that we would have.
Okay.
and I think we owe it to the safety of the people that are attending the meetings it's not about us. It's about the people that are there, their safety. If somebody were to come in to do something crazy and we had the ability to stop it, so we didn't, that would be on us.
Just sitting in a back room. Or just, yeah.
Camp. And we have bulletproof tights.
Won't you'll get all that, the black fold.
We're supposed to stay there.
Oh, yeah. No, you're not supposed to, but.
I've seen it very quickly. Oh, right in front of the microphone.
Yes. Really quiet. It's fine. Thank you. I just wanted to see what your appetite on it was. I get both sides of it. Like, hey, wait till it's rolled out to everyone's place. But then again, that's just sitting in a storage closet somewhere waiting to be implemented, and we can use it here. Why not?
If it's a week away, if the logistics can't be worked out for the November 19th meeting, I mean, I'm fine. December. I mean, I just
Yeah, let's see if we can have it ready for Tuesday.
okay.
All right.
Yeah, and pretty
Is
basic.
there anything else that you guys have as far as discussion or?
I'd just like to thank Ms. Campbell for the idea because it has been helpful and it's nice to have a little, miles under my belt before I step in on November 19th. So appreciate it very much.
And it's a, want me to talk about the BFT letter?
I already told 3 of them. Good.
And the cease and desist?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. That's down. Do you have any questions legally that you need for me? Do you?
No.
That's just good.
That's right. Or something.
That was just a polite nod. Oh, there's the ESF holiday breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't feel like, I mean, you're on an island because we've all been through
Been on-
exactly
yeah.
what you're going through.
Well, that's what I said. I'm like, you're welcome to call if you're not sure. If you'd like call about blah, 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 like you can contact Paul, you can contact, and I feel like anybody on the board will be
Yeah.
receptive to helping point you in the right direction without obviously violating sunshine or telling us anything that's going to be a voting matter. But
And if you're having technology issues, Lena can get you connected with whichever.
yeah,
I now quoted everybody, not your all's numbers, but everybody else's numbers. The captain's and Dr.
Sure.
Pell's, mine, Allison, Mr. Gibbs, honest phone, because I wasn't sure if he could have the other board members' phone numbers. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
yeah, we have each other.
They're public.
Oh, yeah.
They have
Anyway, those two, I can send you them, share them with you if you can.
He's already in a text group, but then now you have to rename everybody. Oh, we need to rename these both.
I will say I learned in my short time
What we used to call it.
that lead is the one that makes the world go round.
Yes. As if Lena's not here, it's Allison.
It
Yes.
is. Yeah.
All right, is there any further things to discuss?
It's a
Carrying not. Meeting is adjourned.